Right, so Farley, I was thinking this office skit bit. Um, we've been muddling ourselves up because we sound like ourselves. So I was thinking we could maybe mix it up by putting on voices for the office people we're supposed to be.
Okay.
Okay, so I don't know, like you could start off with like, "Alright, I'm Mr. Generic Office Man," or something like that, you know?
Hang on. Is this bit now a meta bit about the meta bit before the podcast actually starts?
Yes.
Okay.
We're 4 meta bits deep, yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So, yeah? Sound good?
Okay.
Okay, cool. I don't know why I chose a high-pitched Scottish person because, you know, it's really going to differentiate away from myself. Alright. Ooh, office things. No, I don't think it's going to work. I don't think I can keep this up and do voices.
Office things. Is that how you...
Yeah.
Office thing. Wait, do it again, 'cause you didn't hear my voice.
That's true. So, Farley, office things.
Oh, I cannot believe it, in the office and that.
Oh, pure photocopiers. Oh,
Got a coffee.
I got a stapler. Somebody microwaved fish in the microwave. Oh, it's a travesty.
Oh, somebody's taking me hole punch again.
So what are we going to do about the podcast?
I didn't know.
Do you know where they can find the podcast? I've got no idea.
Oh, www.thatguys.co.uk. You can also find them on all the socials at That Guy's a Maniac, all lowercase, all one word, on YouTube, on Instagram, on Twitter.
Wow, that's a very good Chuchta accent you've got going on there.
Oh, thank you.
Right, we're done.
Great.
That might have been a shit idea.
I think the readers won't notice.
No. Okay.
They'll think, oh wow, this office skit is really
The production values on it are just...
Yeah. They've hired in. They've got some talent in to do these bits.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
Right.
what are we doing?
What are we doing? What are we playing?
A classic format for the podcast.
Yeah. So...
before we do that, I have an announcement.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
We actually have non-podcast content on the blog.
Yeah, because we did some blog posts.
We did some blog posts. So
Yeah.
if you visit www.thatguys.co.uk, you'll
see
find
more than just links to our episodes.
more than just podcast lists.
Yeah.
I did a rather good post, if I say so myself, a little fan fiction based on Pokemon.
Yep.
Richie's done which we actually said we would do. He's done a little photo shoot with.
It was kind of a half-hearted one.
There's a bit of effort put in.
Yeah, I mean, I took the pictures, and then I just found myself, what do I want to write about these? You know, like, I was going to put in, like, locations and make a funny little story around it, and it was just like...
Yeah, you should have done that. You should have written it, like, in the style of a Hello magazine expose.
Yeah, I mean, that's actually a level further than I was even going to go, but I just found myself, like,
really
nobody
good.
cares. It was like, the level of detail I went into on the first one, I was just like, you know what? Delete. Nobody cares. Not that anybody cares about the blog, but yeah.
Yeah, that would have been a really good idea. Anyway, you got the less good idea of that is up. And I took a look at some of my picks for the art of the current Pokemon TCG expansion Fusion Strike.
Oh, yeah.
Which, annoyingly, and I don't know if they've been doing this before, I started doing that I think 3 expansions ago. And all of a sudden, on the Pokemon website, they started doing art of. I mean, they are the Pokemon website, so you could say they're allowed to. But they started also doing exactly the same. And they're picking the same things as me. And this month, they even posted, there's a day before I posted mine.
Oh, so they know. Oh, wow. Okay. So, yeah. I guess somebody of a similar mindset to you works on the Pokemon website?
I know. I was like, how did they know that one of 3 things I'm going to post on the blog this year will go out on November the 30th? About the art of the
algorithm works, Farley. The algorithm works.
Yeah. But annoyingly, we have chosen the same thing. So I choose 5 cards with art on them and talk about the art in a rather hilarious way.
But I mean, it sounds like a rather strange excuse for you just copying content from the Pokemon website.
But I don't remember them doing it first.
Okay.
I'm going to look it up right now. News. So here we go. News. Under the news section. Oh god, their news section is massive. They've got loads going on. Art of the Pokemon TCG Sword and Shield Fusion Strike expansion, 29th of November. Go to www.thatguys.co.uk. A day after.
Yeah,
it says
you've just copied everything they say.
The art of, to be fair, I deploy ellipses, ... because maybe we'll do an art of thing, who knows. Pokemon TCG Fusion Strike. So what do they call it? Art of the Pokemon TCG. I'm going to search their website. Art of the Pokemon. If they started doing it before me, when did they start doing it?
I have to say, these don't look like Pokemon cards.
Which ones? The ones on our blog?
Yeah.
It's because
I'm just looking like Genesect here, doing the breakdancing.
Yeah, that's one of the full art cards.
Yeah.
Okay, so they started doing it. What's it, 2017 or something?
Oh, okay.
And I started doing it. Art of 2021. I can't believe they preemptively copied me. That is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's total arseholes.
Anyway, that's up on the blog. Please go and have a look and read. Comment, like. I don't think you can subscribe. Maybe if you want. I think we do still have an RSS feed.
RSS feeds are no longer a thing.
I know, but do we still have one?
I think on Blogger, like, you can't have RSS feeds.
Oh, we used to have an RSS feed.
One,
yeah.
RSS
oh well.
feed.
He's so good. I used to love RSS.
I still couldn't properly get my head around it. RSS was basically like Twitter for websites. You know, you would just get every new post of these things.
Yeah, but it was good because you kind of created your own newspaper. So when Google Reader was going,
yeah,
and then you could, you could also kind of follow each other, and it was just good because you kind of see what was going on. Because before that, you'd kind of have to have, 38 tabs that you would look through every day to see if there's something new.
See, that's what I used to do.
Oh, God.
I had that, basically I had a folder on my bookmarks bar called Startup, very, imaginative.
Yeah.
And I just put everything I needed into there, and then you just middle click it with the middle mouse button, and it opens all the tabs. And then I'd just go through news by news by news.
Yeah.
By the time I'd read all the news, it was about, 10:30, so it was time for a break.
So speed readers just made that easy because you kind of go through chronologically. And then Google killed their feed reader, and there was never quite a good enough replacement.
Yeah, that's why Blogger and Google are the same thing. That's why there's no feed.
Yeah. Yeah, there was never a good enough replacement, and then now it's just social media feeds, which just a lot of them aren't fucking chronological. We have to click on the please give it to me chronological button every 5 minutes.
And there's shit like Instagram where you just can't even put links in.
Oh, I don't. Yeah, and so as a consequence, I just don't read anything anymore on the internet. Any news.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the idea must be so alien to a young person to be like, oh yeah, used to go to 28 different websites to see what they'd done. Weird.
No, I don't know. Yeah, it is, but
Yeah, whereas nowadays you just share your hot take with a link to something you've never read and never will read.
yeah.
Anyway, that's the announcement.
Yeah. Let's not get too morose. How you get on with Pokemon DP?
Pokemon DP. So, Pokemon Diamond, Brilliant Diamond, and Shining Pearl.
Yeah.
For those of you who skipped our episode, it's good. I'm in the end game. I must say I have settled into it a little bit. So, becoming a lot more forgiving of all the stuff that we thought we'd left behind in 2004. All of the stuff in the underground makes a lot more sense post end game. So if you can remember, you can excavate the statues, and the more statues you put in your base, you can get more grass types to show up or more rock types to show up. Yeah, still found a few more bugs, which wasn't great.
Yeah, I sent you a link to the calculator doesn't work.
Yeah, I'm not too sure who has that problem and how often it comes up.
I mean, who has that issue? Who thinks, oh, you know what? I need to do some sums. I'm going to break out Pokemon Diamond.
Well, if you remember, one of the gym leaders is based on sums, like super easy sums.
All right, okay.
And in fact, if you get all the answers correct, which is very easy, although towards the end, so normally in Pokemon games, each gym has a gimmick. Sometimes it's like a sliding puzzle or a teleporting puzzle or a skid across the ice puzzle. But Fantina in Pokemon Diamond had this maths quiz, and so it gives you 3 possible answers, and there are 3 doors. And if you go through the wrong one, you fight a trainer. If you go through the right one, you don't have to fight a trainer. But then I think one of the last...
fight a trainer, probably, to level up your dudes before you...
Well, there's that, and also in Pokemon Diamond and Pokemon Pearl, you may remember, you get the National Pokedex from Professor What's-His-Face when you complete the Sinnoh Pokedex. So you have to see every Pokemon, not catch it.
Yeah.
And through the course of the game,
so
the
you
trainers
have to see those trainers.
So throughout the course of the game, you see all of them, and the 2 legendaries are in like a library book somewhere in order to do it. But, and this is what people were saying last week, which was the first week it came out, if you get all those answers correct in Fantina's gym, you will never see a Drifloon.
Wow.
Unless you go and catch the one that spawns on a Friday. However, for everybody playing on launch day, it doesn't spawn on the first day that you sort out the windfall.
Oh man, that's awful.
Yeah, so for people who were wanting to race, this only applies to people who wanted to race through it on week 1. If you got those answers correct, you'd skip those trainers, and you couldn't see Drifloon for the first 2 weeks. You have to wait to the second Friday. You also can't time travel in this game, I don't think, like you could with others. So you'd be sat there waiting.
By time travel, do you mean just change the date on your DS?
Yeah, which you can't do. Or apparently, if you can do it, it messes things up because none of the time stuff will work until it catches up to the time you travelled forward to.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely an exploit. That is that. Do you remember our episode on cheats? I would say that's beyond a cheat. That
so
is
there's been a patch,
okay,
which has closed off loads of early glitches. So there was a item cloning glitch.
And
so
Pokemon
people were
cloning glitch as well.
So people were running through the game to get to the battle tower to try and get as many BP as possible. Because unlike Sword and Shield, this game is really stingy with its BP. In order to buy silly items like the ability patch and whatnot, to then clone it with the glitch to get, 100 ability patches. And then some people would work out a way to get to Shaman as well, which is normally a mythical Pokemon which you have to wait for a special download.
Yeah.
Mystery gift. There's some weird glitch where you go and you talk to this person, and then you try and use Surf whilst you're still on land, and it will do a glitch, and you can pop through a wall and then go and see Shaman. So yeah, the recent patch squashed a lot of those glitches.
Good.
A weird one that I've come across is I was evolving. So I decided I'm going to wait until home before completing the National Pokedex. So of course, 2 days later, I was trying to complete the National Pokedex by catching them all and hatching them all. And I noticed for a couple, or actually my wife noticed with a couple of Pokemon, when they evolved, so one of them was a Mareep, and the screen where it says your Mareep evolved into Ampharos, instead of the word Mareep, it would be kanji. I think it's kanji.
Oh, okay.
Which we can now both read. But it wasn't the kanji. So it'd say your, I think it was something like, for Magnemite evolved into Magneton. So it said your Sako evolved into Magneton. Sako's not the Japanese name for Magnemite.
Okay.
Yeah. Weird.
Yep. Huh.
So there we go. But yeah, overall, still enjoying it. Now in the end game.
Cool.
Just faffing around until Legends comes out, really.
Yeah. What's the date on Legends?
28th of January.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Right.
I put 60 hours in, I think. It's quite a lot
Yeah.
for a couple of weeks.
That is.
Yeah.
But it's okay. You get the whole Christmas holidays to spend far too much time playing it as well, don't you?
Oh, I know, and depending what happens, it could be a lot of time.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Oh God. Don't even start.
A lot of time. So
Anything can happen.
Anything can happen.
Omicron.
in the next half hour.
Yeah.
So I guess it leaves me to ask you now. What are you playing?
Well, okay. So I alluded to it in a previous episode, but I have been playing the
World of
Guardians
Warcraft.
of the Galaxy.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you did randomly bring that up at the end of the podcast about something completely
Yeah, you were really angry. You're just, why are you talking about this now?
Yeah.
I ultimately, yeah. I don't know. Like,
So this is the latest in those weird generic Marvel games that lots of people recently have been saying, actually this one's quite good.
yeah. That was my only
Did I just
reason.
ruin the take?
But yeah, that was my only reason for picking it up.
Yeah. Because what kind of game is it?
Part of it was kind of... Sorry?
What kind of game is it?
Well, yeah, part of why it was kind of sold to me was I watched the gameplay of it and it's like, you know what, this is a little bit like Devil May Cry.
No. I thought it was more like Diablo. Is it not?
No. This is a straight up 3D action shooter.
What's the name of this fucking game? Marvel? Because they're all just so generic now.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
It's just Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yep.
2021?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought it was the Guardians of the Galaxy expansion to that other weird one.
No, this is just a straight up standalone game. Yeah.
Right. hot on the heels of 2004 Guardians of the Galaxy.
Well, I mean, it doesn't have Chris Pratt and all that sort of stuff into it. In fact, it's a little bit removed from the whole Marvel universe, Guardians of the Galaxy.
Despite the proper name of the game being Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy.
Okay, MCU's Guardians of the Galaxy, if you want to make that distinction.
I just want to clarify for the readers
So,
the proper name of the game.
yeah, like, so there's big differences. Like, Drax.
Rocket Raccoon is a dog, a dingo.
No. Drax is the one that killed Thanos. So this is a very different universe entirely, sort of thing.
Which one? First time or second time?
What do you mean?
That Thanos is killed.
No, it doesn't follow the MCU.
Okay.
It probably follows the comics, and I know nothing about the comics. Or one of the comic timelines, or whatever.
Yeah.
But the Guardians of the Galaxy team is the same. Rocket is essentially the same foul-mouthed usual. And it's got Gamora, and it's got Groot and Drax. And you take control of... I've forgotten his name, I want to just call him Chris Pratt. Just to confuse the issue even further.
Lady Hellbender?
Quill.
Oh, Quill. Peter Quill.
Lady Hellbender's in it as we've been part of where I am at. I am getting to her fortress. Fortress.
Fortress?
But yeah, it plays very similarly to like a Devil May Cry game. There's lots of hidden areas to go and find and collect things, and you gain bits and pieces which you use for currency to upgrade your attacks and things like that.
Okay.
For the most part, you control Quill, and you just like you can call upon the Guardians. So, like for instance, Drax can move objects. Big heavy big heavy jobbies.
Big heavy jobbers.
Big heavy jobbies. And Groot can make bridges. Rocket's got like attacks, and they've got different attacks as well. And when you're actually in fights, so they've got the Final Fantasy X stagger gauge in it as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if they still continued that in the Final Fantasy VII remake, but yeah. So they've got the stagger gauge, so you have to get rid of and stagger the enemy before you can actually do attacks. And you got lots of cool attacks, mostly just sort of melee shooting, lots of timing-based melee shooting. Melee and shooting. Lots of time-based shooting, and you also have melee attacks as well. And they've very blatantly taken the kick from the very first Guardians of the Galaxy, you know, that one where he kicks the lizard thing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so they just use that an awful lot. But as a game, it has a great deal of talking in it. A great deal of talking. So yeah. I've been to 2 areas. So I'm only about 4 or 5 hours into the game, but I've been to 2 areas. And those were, you know, exploratory, attacking things. You've got different enemies, you've got boss characters and things like that. In between, like moving from area to area, there's so much banter. You can even, as you're walking from like, you know, one area to a new area, you can even like choose to take sides, and like you get little bonuses like Rocket trusts you more, you know, and things like that because you chose his side.
Oh yeah,
things like that. And also, actually, I've been to 3 areas. I'm talking about Mars, but yeah. In between that, you get to like hang out in the ship, and you get to like hang out with them and have dialogue and conversations and open up, and like there's lots of banter, and it's a very, very talky game. I would say that this game, I'm going to call it a dialogue 'em up. Don't hang up on me.
Like Mass Effect.
Yeah, it in fact very Mass Effect-y with those dialogue and those choices, and the fact that you can affect the outcome of the story.
What is that with your brain today? Yeah.
Stereo.
Your combat melee, your storios.
You know, it's a good job I don't like try and make this a hobby or anything like that. You know. Yeah. So there's a lot of Mass Effect-iness, and in fact, there are points where you are like sort of doing one-on-one dialogue, and it just feels the same way as Mass Effect and Dragon Age do it as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know, through the choices and selections. And yeah, I mean, it's fine. And then it switches to the actual combat side of things, which Now, I used the term Devil May Cry. It is nowhere near as polished as Devil May Cry. Just to sort of clarify this. This game, and I'm going to jump to the question that you're going to ask me, is probably 7 out of 10.
I would have asked how many Guardians are out of galaxies is it?
How many galaxies are there in the world?
Infinite.
So I'm going to say it's 7 out of infinite.
Okay.
But and it's because the combat is. I feel like it's dry and predictable for this time that we are in. Like,
right.
Like it's been done before. There's nothing special.
It looks like Final Fantasy VII from. I was just watching a video.
Yeah.
The remake.
Yeah, and in fact, I'm sure there's a lot of elements have been taken from it as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's fine. I want to play it to the end. I do not want to play New Game Mode Plus. I do not want to spend forever looking for every single item in the game, nor do I particularly want to find every secret or anything like that.
What's this game's 101 Dalmatians?
So you can collect different outfits for all of the Galaxy.
Okay.
Galaxy of the Guardians.
Yeah.
So like you can actually get the 2004 Guardians of the Galaxy outfits for everybody. Which I gave to Gamora. I didn't like Gamora's weird Mass Effect suit that she has generically. It's sort of like a stormtrooper's boots, and arms. All this white plastic bits attached to her. I thought, this looks stupid.
Oh yeah.
I gave her the Guardians Galaxy outfit. And one other thing though, which is really quite cool. The soundtrack is amazing.
There's just one more thing. Is it an original soundtrack or is it a licensed soundtrack?
It's licensed and it's all 80s tracks. And
oh yeah, Rick Astley.
Yes, and they do have an original one as well. So they've made up this band called Star-Lord, which is why he's called Star-Lord.
Soft Cell.
Yeah, it's loads of stuff. It's got Blondie on there as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's everything that you could think of. Yeah. And that does make it quite cool as well. And it plays these songs at the most silly moments, and it just makes it epic. So
hey, Richard Jacques does all the original songs.
Remind me who that is?
He's one of the greatest video game composers of all time.
Is he?
Yeah.
For what? Oh my god. Did he do the Haunted Mansion?
No, he didn't. He didn't do the Net Heroes. He did Jet Set Radio, various Sonic games, Daytona.
Oh, yeah.
Outrun,
yeah.
Sega Rally, Mass Effect.
Yeah.
Sega Superstars Tennis.
Yeah.
All the Sonics. Forza, Little Big Planet 2.
Yeah.
And Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah. Cool. And yeah, there's like an escape scene on the ship, and you've got like 80s music blaring, and it just makes it epic. It was quite cool. The game, I suppose it reminds me of like old Snes licensed games, like for Star Wars and things like that. It has these sequences, it has the action, and it has a little, instead of like still pixelated storylines, you actually have interactive story going on. So I think it's fine. It's a solid game. Gameplay, fun-ish. I mean, it's nothing groundbreaking. I don't go, yeah, amazing when I'm actually in combat. I actually just find it a little bit dry. I think I've used the word dry already with this.
Yeah.
Yeah. But everything else, all the dialogue, all the banter, it does get exhausting. So I have turned this game off because it's just like, oh my god, stop talking. And I was done. I don't need any more Guardians of the Galaxy banter. God, I don't understand how anybody could speedrun this game as well. It would just be so annoying, waiting for certain dialogue so you could get the right outcomes and all this sort of stuff. But yeah, it's fine. It's good. I will complete it, and I think it's a solid £30 buy sort of thing. Very high production values. Yeah.
So looking at this, you can also get the cloud version on Switch. What have you got it for? PC?
Yeah.
It came out fairly recently, right? You were playing this new.
Yeah.
End of October.
Yeah.
And it looks good. You say it sounds good. Looks like it's got a cool combat system, a nice story.
My biggest system, yeah.
My biggest problem with it, and it's probably an irrational problem, is why is it coming out now? There's nothing. And I know this is a problem of the modern mediascape.
It's just a game, based on Guardians of the Galaxy. It's
I know, but I feel like
with the films, it's not.
I feel like it's people aren't going to play it. I had vague awareness of this. It seemed it was that other Marvel game which they keep churning out DLC for.
Yeah.
Every now and then. And so I feel, it's come out at a strange time, and perhaps that's why it won't do so well. I don't know. Maybe it's doing really well. And
I think it is doing quite well. I mean, it's fine.
I'm worried about it. They got 5. Hang on. Here's I'm on the screen with all the scores, right? So 5 out of 5 given to it by Common Sense. Never heard of them. 9 out of 10 from Worth Playing. Never heard of them. 4.5 out of 5 from Windows Central. Is that?
I don't know.
91 out of 100 from Atomics.
Okay. Yeah.
4.5 out of 5 from Tom's Guide. No, I haven't heard any of these. 4 out of 5 from comicbook.com.
Okay.
4.5 out of 5 from Hardcore Gamer. All these made up venues. I guess our reviews come out too late. Where's 7 out of Infinity? that guy's a maniac.
I think most people have given this quite a favourable review. But
yeah. Would you say it was a 4.5 out of 5 or a 9 out of 10?
No, I would say it's a 7 out of 10. Solidly 7.
You said it's a 7 out of Infinity.
Yeah. But for using legitimate real scales, I would say that this game is fine. It is nothing. There's nothing bad about it.
Yeah,
but I don't find it groundbreaking. And in fact, the high production values on it, which lead to the ridiculous amounts of story and dialogue, have detracted it a little bit from me. Because, like I said, I had to turn it off just because, right, that's enough. Enough of you guys talking. And I guess the game doesn't flow naturally. Rather than having cutscenes, you actually have to have scenes where you interact and have to make decisions, which just becomes arduous because you're going from the flow of trying to learn the combat system, doing hovering flying combos and getting instant reloads on the guns and getting Drax to go and stab the things at the same time. Going to oh, I'm Peter Quill walking about a ship. Oh, look at me, I'm looking out a window.
Oh, I'm Peter Quill.
I'm looking out a window. Because you can actually do that, and that's the thing that really pissed me off. I was like, right, okay, I found the jukebox. Oh, look, I'll put a hat on. That's fun. And then I went to a window and it says press X to look out, and I'm standing there, Maybe for a good 60 seconds.
Ah, see, I love that shit. I love that shit. I hate it in games when there's a bench that you can't just sit down on, and they give you a little, just a little. That's all you do. I love that.
Well, anyway,
That's bumped it for me. That's bumped it up a point.
Now is that okay? So you've given it an 8 out of 10.
I'm giving it a.
Played it.
I'm giving it a hands-off 8 out of infinity.
What I would say, it's its own standalone story away from the MCU. If you like Guardians of the Galaxy and are happy to know that these guys exist as variants in another universe or whatever, however you want to approach it, it's a nice story, and I'm sure it will come to a nice conclusion. Think of it like a Disney Plus series, perhaps. And yeah, I think it's fine. And I don't really want to talk more about it. Do you have any other questions about it?
How much did you pick? How much is retailing for?
I think I picked it up for like £33.
Okay, so yeah, that's sadly that's about half of what new big games are coming out for these days, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean yeah,
which is insane given how good it looks. Cool.
Yeah, fine. Okay, what have you been playing?
Oh, might not have one more question.
Oh right, okay, go on.
Do you reckon you'll see it through to the end?
Yes, I think I want to see this one through to the end, just because I'm treating it like a Disney Plus series, just sort of watching it, playing it, when I can. I think I'm more interested in the story, but the story can be exhaustive. The combat is meh. Doesn't excite me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Done.
Cool. Done. What have you been playing?
What have I been playing? Well, since the Nintendo Switch Online Expansion Pass came out, and we discussed it a while ago.
Have you been playing N64 games?
No, I've not paid the extra money for it.
Oh, okay.
But on that note, I was thinking, do you know what? I've not logged into the Nintendo Switch Online Nintendo Entertainment System, whatever you call it, software, or the Super Nintendo Entertainment System Nintendo Switch Online software to see what's on there.
Yeah.
So I logged into both of them, and there were titles to flip over as you were. When you haven't logged in, and they've added new stuff, so sat there and pressing A. Oh, this new stuff. And I thought, particularly with the Snes stuff, and I ponied up for the Snes Switch pad. I thought, let's have a go on some of these games because I hadn't.
Is Super Mario RPG out yet?
You can get it on the SNES Mini if you care about it that much.
Fine, the SNES Mini.
I played some games that I'd never heard of / heard of but never played.
Okay.
So I don't know if you've done the same or have you played them before. One of them is called Tough Enough.
Tough Enough, yeah.
It was known in Japan as Dead Dance. Have you played that?
Ninja what?
It was known in Japan as Dead Dance. Have you played it?
Oh, Dead Dance.
Yeah, Tough Enough.
No.
The cover, I don't know if it's the PAL cover. I don't think it ever came out. Oh, it did? Yeah. The PAL cover's really weird. I suggest you look it up. And it kind of gives you no indication, as these games used to.
Is it the Hey Punk, Are You Tough Enough?
Yeah. So which is really strange because it's difficult from the front of that box to work out what this game's title is.
Yeah.
Is the game called Hey Punk, Are You Tough Enough? Apparently it's just called Tough Enough or Dead Dance. What kind of game do you think it is from that box art? Bearing in mind this is all we had when we went to Blockbuster, right? And you're deciding what to rent.
Side scroll and beat 'em up.
You're correct in the second part of it. You are incorrect in the first part of it.
Oh, so it's just a beat 'em up.
It is just a beat 'em up.
Wow. Okay.
And
Is it 2D?
yeah, it's 2D pixels.
Meaning, do you have a plane?
What do you mean? It's like Street Fighter.
Okay, cool.
Except it's just not very good. It's
No.
really not very good. And it makes you it reminds you how why Street Fighter is Street Fighter. Because those early games were just early beat 'em ups were just rubbish.
Yeah.
Very little strategy, very little moves. Again, this complaint I bring up every time I talk about this Nintendo Switch online service. Give us a fucking instruction booklet. Like, just, upload a JPEG or something. Because you're just going into these games with nothing, absolutely nothing. And you just get... I think I played the story. I think it's like story and arcade. And I played the story mode. Managed to cheese the first fight and then just got destroyed in the second fight. Then I looked up a move list for, I think I played as the woman, and this is probably only one woman. Katana, and all her moves were charge moves. Yeah, and it really was just paper, scissors, stone, right, back in the day.
Okay.
There was very little kind of...
There's no sort of intricicities, no Twitch gameplay or anything.
Yeah, then they're like, back and forth. It was just if you could, and I did this for a bit, and then I thought this is sad. I'm just sadly doing this, so you could just keep bashing, jump and kick, and pretty much beat all the characters.
Yeah, great.
Because that's one of the fastest moves to do, and they can't really do anything about it.
Wow.
Yeah. So there we go. Tough enough.
Cool. What else did you have a go at?
I also had a go at Magical Drop 2.
No, I think I played that because I didn't know what it was either.
Yeah, it's also they've made such interesting decisions with these. So it never came out in Europe or North America.
No, that's not the one I was thinking of. But this looks a bit weird. Like
it is a bit
girls.
It is a bit weird, yeah.
Okay.
So you play all kind of, I think they're all kind of like goddesses and demons, but
they're really badly drawn.
They're
Like,
really
the
badly
art is
drawn.
Awful.
Yeah, it's like somebody's first couple of DeviantArt
Yeah.
drawings. They're also, there's a bit of booby. Like there's one character who's just dressed in a piece of toilet roll, it seems.
I see her.
Yeah.
Busts bubbles.
Why are you saying that?
Well, there's somebody because you're bursting bubbles in the game, but busts bubbles, bubble busting. Bust.
I don't think you're busting bubbles.
But I'm making a pun on bust.
But where's the bubbles coming from?
Because it's bubbles, is it not? Is it not like the Bust a Move clone?
No, they're like gems. So the first thing is, well, you've raised the bad art already, and the art is bad.
Yeah.
And you have, your little character running around at the bottom, which is bad, and you have the big character at the back, which is also bad, and you have the art in between the story, which is also bad. But this is apparently a sequel. But because it never came out in Europe or America, they didn't bother translating it. You just play it in Japanese.
Yeah, fair.
Including not really knowing what option you're picking on the menu screen. Gameplay-wise, it's okay. So it is a sort of puzzle game that feels like what's the one where you fire stuff up the screen?
Bust a Move?
Was it Bust a Move?
Pang?
Where you no, where you rotate. I think it's Bust a Move, yeah, where you rotate the little thing and you fire the balls off. With this one,
puzzle bubble, or yeah,
something like that. With this one, the magic drop bit is you can pull one of the pieces down. So all the pieces are lining up at the top, and you're normally fighting against another character, and if they connect 3 of each color and make combos, then you get more over your side. And in this one, you can kind of drop the pieces into your character, but you can only drop them with the same color, then move them around, and then kind of fire them off.
Okay.
This is quite cool. It's a nice little twist of these kind of bubble type puzzle games. Yeah, quite good actually. I played through it with one of the characters. I think the 3-eyed toilet paper goddess. And it was challenging. A couple of bosses.
Okay.
Yeah, and so you can either win by the pieces, the bubbles hitting the bottom of the screen, or if you completely clear everything on your screen, you can win as well.
Okay.
Which took me a while to work out, because in a couple of the matches I was playing, I thought, I'm doing really well here, and then I just lose for no reason, even though my pieces were nowhere near the bottom.
Oh.
Right. Knees.
I mean, I not engaged. What else have you been playing?
Well, I recommend
Magical Drop 2, but
yeah.
I'm not.
But if you're ever in the mood, for I want to play some games. I don't really
3 eyes. Yeah.
Yeah, Magical Drop. The other game, one of the other ones I played was Psycho Dream.
Okay.
Psycho Dream.
Yeah, that sounds so 90s.
It does, and if you look at the box art, which is all you get to judge it from on the Nintendo Switch on that thing, right?
Psycho Dreams.
It gives you nothing.
Okay, I'm worried about actually typing this into Google. I'm going to get put on a list. Psycho Dreams. Video
Psycho
game.
Dream. Singular.
Okay. Right. It looks underwatery. Echo the Dolphin. Oh no.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
It isn't. It is a side-scrolling beat 'em up of sorts.
It's a side-scrolling fighter, isn't it?
Yeah, but it kind of has elements of a
Metroidvania thing.
No, it's very linear, but it has elements of like a side-scrolling shooter in that when you kill various enemies, they drop pickups, and if you wait for them to change colours, you can kind of choose how you gear yourself up. So you can take more of a melee type combat route or a shooting route.
Yeah.
Again, none of this is really explained. Oh, it is explained. This game is in English at the beginning. And the premise is it's a bit like the movie Paprika in that there's this it's like kind of like the Matrix thing that people use this headset and 2 people are trapped in the Psycho Dream, and so you play as one of the people who's sent in to rescue them. So everything's a bit creepy because it mixes kind of elements of modern Japan with psycho ghosts. Lots of things that look like penises, I'll be honest.
Yeah, I just had a quick look at the screenshots, and yeah,
lots of Freudian imagery of globby penises that kind of shoot stuff at you. And when you max out your pickups, you kind of become a crazy cyber fairy. And it's cool. And the different levels are, it's an interesting mix, actually. So some of them are you're walking left to right, left to right, get to a boss. Others are you're stuck on a kind of static screen, you have to move back and forth. And then I think there's something like 7 levels to it. And I got to the 3rd one. I actually quite enjoyed it.
Alright, okay, cool.
Yeah. If you've subscribed to it and you've got it, it's worth giving it a go.
Yeah, I do. I mean, I've got the top end. I've been playing the N64 games.
Yeah. No, whack on Psycho Dream, and at the end of every level, for some reason, it says track 1 complete, and there's a nice image of a woman on a cloud. I got stuck on a particular boss It's really one of the games. So there are various checkpoints. I got stuck on this moth type boss, and if you get hit enough to die, it resets all your power ups. Because you're fighting the boss, there's no opportunity to pick your power ups up again. So you go in as the cyber fairy, and the game is very easy and it's very fun. Get killed by the boss because you're not too sure where you have to hit it. In this moth thing, it has like a rainbow thing on its head you have to hit, which is you have to jump and hit it. It's like, oh yeah, I remember what games used to be like. And then when you die and you go back to just having the shitty sword, it is not fun to kind of tempt it on, dodge its beam, jump and hit it maybe once or twice, dodge the beam, jump and hit it once or twice, and that's as far as I got before turning it off.
Okay.
Even though I could have used the cheaty rewind button at some point to save myself.
I'm trying to remember. I played one of the games that was on this. Actually, never mind. I think it was on the Genesis one. So I'm going to stop talking. But yeah, ridiculously hard. Because the Genesis ones have got so few that you actually care about. The list of the Genesis games are like, bleh. I don't know why I'm calling them Genesis as well. Mega Drive games.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I thought I'll just have a little go play through. Because I actually quite like the taboo of playing Mega Drive games with an N64 controller.
Isn't it just really hard?
It's fine. It's not how you hold an N64 controller. My girlfriend she'd never seen an N64 controller, never heard of one, and she's like, "What the fuck is that?"
Yeah,
and it's quite justifiable. Yes, it's fucking weird. Yeah.
So what did you play? It's not the format of our podcast. What are you playing?
Are we skipping? Are we moving?
No, we're going back to what was it that you were playing on the Genesis
games. I need to find out. I can't remember what it was called, so I'm gonna try and stall for time whilst I look this up. But basically, it was a side-scrolling and up-scrolling shooting game.
Side-scrolling and up-scrolling.
Well, yeah. So, and the very first level, there was like a rocket taking off, and you had to jump onto different platforms at the same time as people were shooting at you, and you had to shoot them back, sort of thing.
Oh God! Okay.
So
is this set in a jungle in the future? In a war zone?
Definitely the future.
Okay.
If you give me 2 seconds, just
I know.
Find this.
Do you play as a robot, a frog?
A dude.
A dude?
Yeah.
Can you choose your dudes, or are you stuck
I think
with the dude?
Gunstar Heroes.
Oh God, Gunstar Heroes is amazing.
That's awful. Oh
my God. You are. So you choose your weapon at the beginning, right?
Yes.
Yeah. It says, do you want to go with this or this? Dude, Gunstar Heroes is a very good game.
It was impossibly hard. Oh wait, is it Gunstar Heroes? Is it?
You fight robots.
Was it a giant spaceship right at the start? I mean, that was very iconic what it did.
It's regularly tops to like list of best ever games.
Really?
Yeah, or is that there?
I mean, I hadn't heard of it. This was me just like, oh, what is this nonsense? Oh, I'll give it a go. Okay. Right, fair enough.
It's great.
I played a game, and apparently it was good, but hated it.
What specifically did you hate about it?
I think possibly the ridiculous difficulty.
It is. You do forget with those old games that you're running along a screen, and there are just things that jump out and hit you, and you can't really do anything about it.
Yeah,
unless
yeah.
you know
Except play it again and know that he's going to jump out.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
that's the sort of shit that really bugs me. It's the same as your NES example. You know.
Yeah.
Oh, I've walked onto a tile. I've immediately died. Now I need to start the game from the beginning again. Now, obviously, it's not as harsh as that. You get new lives and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, like it's like the game expects you to die a lot. Which isn't fun. I know it's a little controversial, but yeah, it wasn't a lot of fun, and that's what I played on the Genesis, and yeah, I think I played a couple of other things as well, but nothing that stood out particularly much.
Is it 2-player?
Yes, it is 2-player.
Yeah, that'd be a good game to sit down and go through one day.
Yeah, I reckon it's your Conservatory Kings. You could do quite well there.
Yeah, it is. Cool.
Right.
Keeping it retro.
Yeah, I mean, well, it was fun and it was different. And I was the Switch was on, so I was playing with the thing that I paid for. Imagine that, you know.
What do you have another? What are you playing beyond Gunstar Heroes?
I do. Let's make this a quick one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I have. Do you have it? Sorry. Do you have it more on the Snes side of things? Because I feel like I hijacked that segment.
No, not at all. No, I was going to do a quick fire round. I've got one more, but I can probably pick it up later.
So this one is a mobile game.
Oh, okay. Is that a gacha?
Yeah, probably. I don't know. But I decided to pick it up because, as a fan of RuPaul's Drag Race, there is a game based on RuPaul's Drag Race.
Okay. Is it any good? Is it one of those games you see in the shitty adverts where?
No. It's nothing like that. It's a cookie clicker kind of based game. Do you know what I mean by a cookie clicker game?
A cow clicker.
Cow clicker?
Yeah.
Is that what it's called? What's a cow clicker?
Famously, there was a what do you say? It's like a video games academic researcher called Ian Bogost.
Okay.
And it was around about when Farmville came out on Facebook and was doing mega numbers.
Yep.
And so he kind of designed this game called Cow Clicker, right? Which is like, here's the future of games, and it's just something where you log in and you click on a cow every 6 hours, and then if you click on the cow enough, you unlock a premium cow, and you unlock some cow-based currency, and then your friends can blah 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 blah. And then I think off the back of that kind of piece of academic / satire / criticism,
it sparked a genre.
Somebody went and made it.
Yeah.
And then it got really popular. Getting something like 50,000 players in the first couple of weeks. And people were just clicking on this cow.
Yeah.
To earn this, there were silly items, or if you clicked on the cow 10,000 times, 100,000 times, you get a golden cowbell and all this business. Anyway.
Okay.
So is that the kind of game you mean when you say cookie clicker?
When I say cookie clicker, I actually mean like I think it was about 7 or 8 years ago. Cookie clicker came out, and it's just based around you click on it, you get cookies. However, what you can also do is automate that clicking.
Yeah.
And then you can buy things to make the clicking happen even faster. And this is essentially what this game, or one part of this game, is all about. And it's just basically you go through, you improve your wig workstation, your makeup workstation, your padding workstation, your rhinestoning workstation, and you click it, and you get drag queens in to improve how fast you earn the currency from this. And I mean, that's the thing. It is mindless. You log in every so often, you click a thing.
And you click all your things.
Yeah.
So Cookie Clicker, I think it's as like a spiritual successor to Cow Clicker.
Cow Clicker, yeah. Okay. But yeah, like the guys that made this game are the same people that have sort of cashed in on character-based games, or character-based TV shows. So they've got things like they made a version of Trailer Park Boys game, which is exactly the same scenario.
What's Trailer Park Boys?
You never seen or heard of Trailer Park Boys?
No.
Right, okay, so Trailer Park Boys is a Canadian TV series. It's very, very, very funny.
Is it?
It is, yeah.
So I'm looking at the...
Whatever is going on in your head, it's wrong.
Okay.
Actually watching it is the only way to give it justice. I was like, what the fuck is this? What is this stupid thing? And then by the end of the day, I'd watched 3 series of it. I just devoured the fucking thing. It was like, it's very, very good.
Because there's a guy who looks like you on it. Is that?
You mean Bubbles
in
with
good
the
taste?
glasses, yeah? Or do you mean the guy without the glasses?
And the guy with the glasses in the face.
Yeah. That's Bubbles.
Okay.
Anyway,
is it woke or is it not woke?
I think it's reasonably woke. I mean, throughout the whole series, there's gay characters, but they're not like, it's not gay bashing in any fashion. It's everybody's quite accepting and all that sort of stuff.
How's the ableism?
I mean, Ricky's dad pretends he's disabled for a whole series.
Okay.
But I don't think it's making... I don't know. I mean, Trailer Park Boys...
Listen, on this podcast, we learned something. Richie learned about Gunstar Heroes. I'm learning about Trailer Park Boys. I didn't know about it, but now that you said those guys also made the Trailer Park Boys Cookie Clicker game, I can see it. I can picture it.
Yeah, exactly. And I think they did Always Something Philadelphia.
Always Sunny.
Yeah, Always Sunny.
Yeah.
They did the same thing with that. All of the
characters. Have you watched that?
No.
I think I started it about 12 times.
See, I saw it, and then I saw it was like 8 series deep, and then I saw something about Danny DeVito joins in season 5, and I was just like, I don't have enough time to be invested. I'm too late to the show, and I think you'll probably do the same thing with the Trailer Park Boys. Just like, this is a funny thing. it's far too late, It's
because a lot of people kind of reference Always Sunny. I always like that Always Sunny episode, but I don't know. It's tough to start these things, particularly Always Sunny, because you start off as like,
Well, Trailer Park Boys is actually quite easy because there's only 6 episodes in a season. Which is
and are they 20 minutes long?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I've got a growing appreciation for things which are just short and sharp like that.
Yeah. Right. Anyway, so back to the RuPaul's Drag Race game. The Cookie Clicker part of it, is
what are you harvesting?
I played the Trailer Park Boys game and it's like, oh, this is exactly the same.
What are you harvesting? Are you harvesting fabric? Are you harvesting
no, you're
ideas?
harvesting Rue dollars.
Oh, fuck off.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Which is genuinely a thing from, you talk about dollars. In the actual series. So it's fine as a currency. You also have gems as a currency.
Of course.
And I think lipstick is another currency as well.
Well, at least that's slightly different. Yeah.
But it doesn't even care. It doesn't even matter about the currency. The other side of the game, which is the thing that's more interesting, which was not included in the Trailer Park Boys game.
What is the name of this game? Should our readers actually want to play it?
The actual, well, I mean, if you look it up, it's Drag Race Superstar.
Drag Race Superstar.
Yeah. The other part is dress up,
which is fun.
Yeah.
You know this is fun.
Yeah. So you get to create your drag persona. So you get your drag name, and you get to then unlock through competition with other drag superstar players.
Yeah.
You get to unlock pieces of clothing, and you get to upgrade the pieces of clothing and things like that as well. You get to change your makeup and your hair and shoes, and you get to play about with that. In fact, if I've got enough battery, I will send you a screenshot now as well.
Please do, because I'm looking at screenshots and some of the costumes look awful. I don't know if that's deliberate or whether just because they've not got far enough in the game yet.
There is definitely issues with the game. There's quite a few bugs. I'm going to send you a really disturbing image first. No, in fact, I'll just send you a normal one first.
Have you made yourself in this game? It's so good character customization.
The character customization is fine. Wait till you see my drag name as well. You have to say it out loud.
Richie's drag name is Ivy Ejaculated.
I giggle every time I play it.
And you're currently wearing, or in the screenshot you're wearing, what looks like a chap dress.
Yeah, so it's these are chaps. I've got this sort of exquisite top sort of thing, but you'll see I've got British makeup on. That's because the UK Drag Race just ended last week.
Yeah.
So to celebrate the end of it, they gave away UK Drag Race
Union flag, lipstick,
makeup,
and okay. And then the second screenshot is your characters in their lingerie.
Yeah.
They have no eyes.
Yes, I have no eyes. So this is another weird bug. You can upgrade your makeup, or at least you should be able to. And when I clicked it,
if you put in 40 hours of the game, you unlock eyes. Your character.
I broke the game by somehow accidentally upgrading my makeup. And now, because obviously it isn't in the game.
Yeah. You've gone beyond. You've evolved beyond eyes.
Yeah, exactly. And I've sent you another screenshot of where I broke the game again.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So it is.
Pokemon Go vibes.
Yeah. And I mean, I think that's the more fun part. Is like you use the other side of the game to unlock new outfits and new bits for your competition, and when you actually go into competition against another drag queen, you actually have a set of restraints, or set of constraints, not restraints. A set of constraints of like it has to be basic, but also extravagant, or
right.
So you have to hit a certain level, and
like the posing.
Yeah, except there's no visibility on what is better than the other. You have different outfits which have different there seems to be quality as well. So you can get 3-star outfits or you can get 5-star outfits, and you're like, well, what does this actually translate to? Because weirdly it translates to a number when you actually go into a one-on-one versus another drag queen, but there's no way to tell what your number's going to be or how to get the highest number out of it. So there's a definite wishy-washiness. Also, it changes every single time you go up against someone. So you can go up against someone and your end score ends up being 10,112, and then the next time you go up against someone it's like 11,000, and you're like, what? Where is this coming from? Where's the random factor? Why do I not have any
It sounds like the contest in Pokemon Brilliant Diamond.
Yes.
You have to wait for the scientists to come up with the. Oh, this dress gives you 37.5 cool points, but then if you pair it with this wig, it gives you. Yeah.
But yeah, suffice it to say, all of the ads that pop up on my phone now.
Suffice
it to say, all of the ads that pop up on my phone now are for very gay games.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
is the algorithm has firmly placed you in that part of the Venn diagram?
Firmly places. So it's all like, these sort of half dating games. What does he think of me? And it's like a guy, and like, oh, right, okay, because I play Drag Race. That's what I think. Okay, cool. So yeah, I've been put into that box.
Great. I think you should make this a regular slot on the podcast. Is you playing gay games?
I'm good, but I think there will come a point very shortly where I will put this game down. But yeah, as a mobile game, I was like, this is fun. It's RuPaul, and then that's it. But now it's pretty much going to be. I think I've got all you can get from this game.
Have you lived the dream where you're, I don't know, playing RuPaul Drag Race Superstar whilst watching the latest season of RuPaul Drag Race? Yes,
absolutely. In fact, back to back, I was watching Drag Race Canada and Drag Race Italia whilst playing the game.
What you need some third element. I don't know whether there's RuPaul licensed food or RuPaul.
Do it in a dress.
Or do it in a dress, or listen to the podcast, or just get RuPaul to come over to your house and talk you through the game and whilst you're watching it, live commentary.
Yeah. But yeah, that's what I've been playing on the mobile. But speaking it through now and talking about like the old Trailer Park Boys.
Speaking it through, Christ. Yeah, okay.
No, speaking it through. Like actually it's not talking it through with you.
Yes, that's the real English for it. Suffice it to say.
Suffice it to say.
It's not a saying, dude.
Yeah.
No, it's either sufficient or suffice to say, not suffice it to say.
Oh, okay.
It's like damp squid.
No, suffice it to say. Yeah. That it is sufficient, but suffice it to say is still the phrase that you would use.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I probably learned this from a TV show, and it's when I was like 5, and it's just stuck in my head. It could very well be a damp squid sort of thing, but no. Google corroborates it. Suffice it to say, and I think it's. I don't even know if I'm properly using it. It is sufficient for me to say. It's just like an ending, closing statement to make yourself sound smarter than you are.
Just suffice to say.
Suffice it to say.
Don't say it. Just say suffice to say.
Or suffice it to say.
No, suffice is unnecessary. Just say suffice to say.
Suffice it to say. Right, listen. Let's stop. I have nothing more, but yeah, I think with Drag Race, after talking it through with you and talking about Trailer Park Boys, the game as well, which I just
we did speak it through, yes.
Yeah. I realised that it's just another one of these time-wasty games that's probably too enveloping as well. The other thing is I wanted to spend money on it.
Really? You wanted to drop $1, but you can't?
I can't. Like, the things that they have for sale are rubbish. Just like more lipstick, more $Rue, more gems. But that doesn't really translate directly to new outfits.
Yeah, put a seasonal, dress in there, or
if like
sell some of that limited edition, Christmas makeup, Halloween makeup.
Yeah, all of the above. And I'd have been more interested in buying that than having to play through the workroom shite. But yeah, I think it's probably a game that's just worth putting down or deleting from the phone, and you forget about it. You know.
Yeah.
Because can't even drop dollar on it. But yeah. Anyway, I shall stop talking about this game, and I'm not even going to rate it. It is.
Come on. Oh. How many rude dollars? Out of 10 would you give it?
How many meaty tucks out of 10 would you give?
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it 2 out of 6 meaty tucks.
2 meaty tucks out of 6.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. I mean, it's still glitchy. I mean, I sent you all of the glitches.
Yeah, they're pretty horrifying.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So, last up, what are you going to blitz through? What have you been playing?
What have I been playing? The last of my Snes. All I know about this is the box art, and I've never played this game. And the last one was Super Valis 4.
Super
by Atlas.
Valis 4.
Super Valis 4. You cannot play Super Valis 1, 2, or 3 on the Nintendo Switch Online, the Super Nintendo Entertainment System, whatever it is called.
Did Super Valis 1, 2, and 3 perhaps come out in SNES? On the NES, sorry?
I don't know. No idea. But I just jumped.
Oh, wait a minute. I played this as well. The one with the tiger.
The box art for this, is a scantily clad woman.
Yes.
Her thighs are out. Fighting a fire-breathing tiger with a...
Does this play in a similar way to the Psycho Dream one?
Sort of. The gimmick
it's sort of
here...
Beastie...
Yes.
The Beast thing, yeah.
Yes. But the cool gimmick here is there's a bar at the bottom at all times. And the quicker you get to the boss, the weaker the boss is.
Oh.
So you see the boss's health. And so, you could say, well, why would you waste time not running straight to the boss? Because if you wanted to, you can hunt around for more weapons. Again, not having the fucking book took me ages to work out.
I did not work that out. I died a lot in this game and then gave up.
So you pick up lots of different weapons, and they do different things. So one is like a beam that goes across the ground. The other one is like a beam that shoots out around you. One is like just vertical shots. But there's also a button, the button that you think would be I want to use this, which is ditch this power up. So I ended up,
wow.
I know. I ended up looking, couldn't work out what was going on. Really struggling with the boss. Looked up the instruction booklet. It's like, okay. So yeah, it's kind of cool. So you pick up your power ups. I think once you choose them to have them in your main weapon slot, if you choose something else to go over it, you lose it. So there's a bit of really limited inventory management. So the idea is you want to speed through the level whilst picking up some good pickups to beat the boss. And the bosses are quite difficult in your old school kind of Mega Man-y kind of way. And the levels get quite complicated. So they got to the 3rd level, and it's just difficult to work out where the boss even was. So you're generally trying to go to the far right, but you have to go up and down levels and do running jumps. It took a while to work out what running jump is. Kind of like the tap to run, which made some of the jumping a lot easier, because before that I was kind of doing the thinking where you run over the edge of a platform then jump to make some of the really difficult jumps. Whereas if you just run and jump, you can easily make it. So yeah, it's a really cool game. So the first level is really easy. You just sprint to the right, a couple of enemies to dodge, a couple of power-ups to pick up, and then you fight like a guy with a scythe, a Grim Reaper type guy. And if you race to him, he has hardly any health at all, and you can easily beat him.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So, I don't know if there's a Super Valis universe or lore.
Yeah, well, so whilst you were talking, I decided I would look in to the Valis series and where it exists. So,
Tell us all about it.
So Valis,
Yeah.
they are the first 3 games, which were just called Valis, not Super Valis, because obviously,
Of course.
yeah. They were on PC engines and TurboGrafx. So you know that other console that existed.
Yeah, that we'd occasionally get the Wii. I think the Wii had quite a few TurboGrafx games on it, didn't it?
I think one of the most famous games on the TurboGrafx was Bonk.
What's what?
Bonk.
Bonk.
Bonk. And it's basically a little
Bonk.
caveman, but he's sort of like a baby caveman.
Yeah.
And it's actually, I've played through that because it was like one of the earliest emulation things that you could get. And it's a really good game. It's like, oh, this is cool. You get the power-ups and stuff like that. So the first 3 were on that. The Valis games, as they are known in America, tell the story of Yuko Aso, a schoolgirl in the late 80s who's fated to protect 3 different realms: her own Earth, the Land of Spirits, and Vacante, the Dream World.
Classic.
Yeah. Valis 4, of course, is on the Snes. It was also on Genesis as well, and Super CD-ROM for the PC Engine. Valis X came out on Windows and is an erotic visual novel. It's divided into 5 episodes that retell the stories of the first 4 games, containing copious amounts of lesbian acts and tentacle erotica.
kind of takes a bit of a swerve in the
It really does.
in the last game.
I wonder if that'll ever make it to Switch.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? I mean, I'm obviously looking at screenshots now. That's kind of fine. Maybe that's something else though. That makes sense.
I'm not. Put it that way.
Okay.
Right. Cool.
Do we know if Valis X still has? Do the other Valis games? Do you know have the quicker you get to the boss mechanic?
I suppose I'll take a quick look at Valis 3. Maybe I'll have a little word about the gameplay. The main difference is previous is players now control multiple characters. Oh, do you get multiple characters in Valis 4?
No, not that I remember.
The characters cannot be switched during boss fights. Yeah, it doesn't seem to say anything about that mechanic that you mentioned.
Okay.
But Valis 3 did get a 90% score.
Wow.
94% by joystick as well.
I wonder if they're like Valis super fans. They're like, oh yeah, 3's the best. Valis 3's the best.
Yeah, Valis was the best one before they introduced that the boss health mechanic.
Yeah, ruined it.
Cheese.
Completely ruined it.
Right. Okay. We done? Oh, wait a minute. Sorry. What would you score Valis 4 out of... How many tentacle eroticas out of... yeah.
Given that it was free and wants to work out running and the power-ups, I'd say it was 3 tentacles out of a vagful.
A what?
A vagful.
Vagball.
Vagful.
A vag full of tentacles. Of course. That is the classic... what is the word? Oh, God.
Unit.
Unit?
Unit of tentacles.
When you have a group, like you've got a parliament of owls.
Like a collective noun.
Collective noun. Collective noun for tentacles is a vagful. There we go. Got there in the end. Right, so that guy's a maniac.
Yeah, why'd he take a weird turn in the 10th game? And also, will there be like a Valis 5 to 9? Who knows? Tune in next week.
No Valis 5 to 9.
I know. Will there ever be? the story of what happened between, oh, look, if you run fast, you get the bosses, to erotic visual novel. Yeah. What's that turn?
Right. Catch you later.
Bye-bye.